Hi, it's Corrina, and thank you so much for joining me today for some bedtime yoga. This is a very beginner-friendly little class to help relax your mind and body, preparing you for a restful night of sleep. If you have a block or a little cushion to sit on, that can be helpful for you. And from here, finding nice length through the spine, go ahead and notice if your shoulders are real rounded forward. Send them back a little bit. So you're really nice, open through the chest, long lifted spine. So inhale the arms up. Nice long spine, reaching up. And then planting your right hand down on the mat next to you, we'll exhale as we start to bend toward the right. So you don't have to bend super deeply here. Remember, you have to pull yourself up in a second. So just take a few breaths here and think about rolling your upper arm toward your back a little bit, or toward the back of the mat. So now your upper body kind of opens up, and rather than kind of having this maybe slouched over posture, you really open, lifting the upper arm. Then using your right hand, lift your body up, inhale. Go ahead, take another big breath, inhale up. And then exhale as you plant the left hand down and start to side bend to the left. Great. Make sure that you keep your sitting bones planted on the floor, so don't let that right hip creep up. You can even use this hand on the floor to kind of push your hips down into the floor. Remember to roll that upper arm out a little bit so we really feel that stretch through the right side body. And then push yourself up on your inhale. Go ahead and lift both arms up. And now we're gonna kind of flow from side to side. So inhale lifts the spine. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale through center. Side bend to the right on your exhale. Nice and slow. And switch. Inhale through center. Exhale on that left side. Great. Go ahead and come back through center now. We're going to switch the position of our legs. So I have my right leg in closer. I'm going to switch, bringing my left leg in closer. Adjust a little bit. So maybe switching the legs feels a little awkward, but that's good. Each time we move into a little slightly awkward position, it'll be less awkward the next time. So find that nice long lifted spine here. We'll continue those side bends. So inhale, lift the arms up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, down, planting that hand to the right, bend to the right. Maybe you bend a little deeper. Maybe you don't bend as much now that we have this new hip alignment. Peel that upper arm towards the back a little bit, really accentuating that side body stretch. And then inhale as you come back up, switching to the other side. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale back up, side bend to the left. Each time you do these, getting a little bit deeper into that side stretch. One more time to the right. Exhale as you bend. Inhale, lift you back up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Deep stretch on the right side body. And then bring yourself back up on your inhale. So take one more little round of breath in this seated position, just sitting up nice and tall, feeling the length through the spine. And then from here, we'll start to transition onto our backs. So if you're sitting on something, go ahead and pull your little cushion or your block to the side. And then we'll go ahead and turn our bodies so that our legs are long on the mat. So you can place your hands next to your hips here to just help lift up your spine, helping you to stay nice and tall here. And then we'll just slowly bend and straighten each leg for a moment. Just bringing a little bit of movement. You can kind of feel the hip flexors kind of firing on with this little movement. And then go ahead and plant the feet. You can push into your hands to lift your body up. And go ahead and roll down. First, kind of stopping on the forearms for a minute. And then pushing into your forearms, into your feet. Lift up your hips and roll on down, sealing your low back to the mat. Really nice. And pushing into your feet, into your shoulders. You can lift up. Just make sure that your low back, you kind of tuck the tailbone so you really feel this nice connection between your back and the mat beneath you. Really nice. From here, go ahead and lift your feet off the mat, bringing your knees toward your chest. You can keep the knees generously bent here and just wrap your arms around your thighs. Or if you'd like to wrap them around the knees, you can, but we're just bringing the thighs toward the chest. Take a breath here. Nice, slow, controlled exhalation. After a breath or two, maybe you can hug the legs in a little bit more, or even bring the feet in, knees in. So now you're really compressed through all of the joints of the lower body. Breathe into those sensations you're feeling. And then from here, we're gonna extend our legs up. So it's like you're planting your feet toward the ceiling. I'm just gonna point and flex my toes here a little bit. So we're in this waterfall position, or legs up the wall, except here we're not against a wall. We're just letting the legs lift up. So pointing and flexing or rolling the ankles, whatever feels good to you here. Just bring some movement into the ankles for a moment. Really nice. It can feel intense to try to straighten the legs here, so it's okay to keep a bend through the knees, even generously bend the knees. It's really just about bringing our feet up over our head, getting this little inversion. Affects our blood flow and blood pressure. And then from here, we're gonna move into a little reclined pigeon. So think about sending your right knee open. So right knee heads towards the edge of the mat. You can bring your right foot. So the edge of your right foot is on the top of the left quad. From here, go ahead and bring the foot so you have the ankle kind of against the quad. And now we'll bring our right leg up. So hug the right knee into the chest here, really compressing through that right hip flexor. And then if you can, go ahead and try to extend this right leg. So with one knee bent, it should be a little easier to straighten the right leg. If it's kind of shaken and quaking and it feels better to keep a bend in the knee, that's totally fine as well. But if it feels okay for you here to kind of kick through the heel and straighten this leg, just gently guide that leg toward the sky, feeling, you can even probably maybe even see my leg kind of shaking and quaking here. So we just want to come to the edge of this really nice hamstring stretch, feeling engagement and stretch through the back of the right leg without being too intense. So you always want to be able to have those nice, slow, controlled exhalations. And if you move too deeply into a stretch where it's causing you to hold your breath, just back out a little bit so you can maintain that nice, relaxed breathing. Okay, great. Go ahead and plant the right foot down. Can take a couple little windshield wipers through the hips here, and we'll do that on the other side. So both feet are planted here. Then you go ahead and lift up that left leg. From here, if it feels okay, kick through the left heel, straightening the left leg, bringing it slightly closer toward your upper body. And then right at that point where you start kind of feeling the shaking and quaking, just pause there and breathe into those sensations you're feeling. It's really common for our bodies to have slight little shifts and imbalances from side to side. So maybe your left leg doesn't quite straighten as easily as the right, or vice versa. That's totally fine. Really nice here. One more big kick through that heel, straightening that leg, nice big stretch. And then go ahead and place that foot down, and we'll take those little windshield wipers again. Really nice. Should feel really good in the hips, kind of bringing the knees from side to side. And then coming to plant both feet about hip-width distance apart. Now we'll lift the right leg up again. This time, open the right hip. So right knee sends out to the side, and the side of your right foot will come to plant on this left leg. So we're coming to a little reclined pigeon pose here. So from here, you can begin to lift up that left leg, bringing your right leg in closer to you. And if it feels okay to grab behind the thigh or around that knee, we're just gonna start thinking about pulling both legs in toward the upper body. Keep this right foot flexed. So if this leg is just kind of hanging out doing nothing, sometimes this knee can kind of get pulled or tugged in this position. So when we flex through this foot, thinking about sending the toe back towards the knee, it just engages some of those muscles that protect the kneecap. So with that right foot flexed, pulling the left leg in, breathe into the sensation you're feeling in that right hip. You can encourage this right knee to open out by using your right hand to kind of press out and then pulling with your left hand, these two opposing motions. With each breath, maybe you bring that left leg in a little closer. And then we'll go ahead and release. You can bring both knees into the chest for a moment here. And then planting both feet on the floor again, about hip width apart. This time we'll lift the left leg up, and then sending the left knee out towards the edge of the mat. Side of the left foot comes to sit on top of the right leg. Go ahead and flex your left foot so the toes are pointing back toward the knee. And then we'll lift that right leg up off the mat, starting to pull the right leg in towards the chest. Again, if you want to encourage this knee open a little bit by pushing this direction, you can do that. So these two opposing directions, left arm pushing upward against the knee and the right leg being pulled towards the chest. You should really feel this right in the edge of the glute. Really, really nice. Feels so good on this side. And then nice and slowly, we'll start to release the grip on our legs and just hug both the knees in towards the chest. So now I'm taking this deep compression through the hip flexors, pushing my legs down into my body. And then starting to bring the feet back towards the mat, we'll take a spinal twist. So with your feet planted on the mat, you can push into your feet, push into the back of the shoulder blades, gently lift the hips and bring them to the right side of your mat slightly. From here, your knees will go ahead and fall to the left. And sometimes it takes a little bit of adjusting. So the goal is that when you lay flat, both of your shoulders are making contact with the floor. So if your right shoulder is really peeled up off the floor a lot, maybe you need to come out of the stretch a little bit or out of the twist a little bit. So you can kind of adjust the legs. Everyone's body is different, so finding what feels good for you is really important. And then to take that full twist, go ahead and drop your head over toward the right. You can use your left hand on top of the knee to get a little deeper into the twist, or you can use your hand to hold that right leg up so you're a little bit less in the twist. Wherever you are, make sure that both shoulders are making contact with the mat. Breathe into this twist. It should feel really nice through the spine and low back. We'll spend just a few more breaths here. And then to come out, you'll begin by lifting your gaze back to center. You can use your hands to help lift your legs back up if you'd like. And then coming back to this kind of center position for a moment. Sometimes when we come out of the twist is when we feel it the most. So while you're in it, maybe it doesn't feel like much, but when you come out of it, now I can really feel how much my body wants to take this twist on the other side. So after spending a moment in neutral here, now we'll lift up again, so pushing into the feet, into the shoulders, moving the hips a little bit to the left and letting the knees fall to the right. Again, from here, noticing that shoulder. So if the shoulder's up off the mat here, you can come out of it a little bit so that this shoulder can open up, falling down onto the mat. You can bring your gaze all the way to the left as well if that feels okay in the neck. Breathe into this deep spinal twist. Should feel really nice. It's a position that our spine doesn't take very often throughout our day, so Should feel really, really good. A few more breaths here, remembering your nice, slow, extended exhale. And then nice and slowly, we'll come out first by bringing our head back through a neutral position. And then bringing the legs back over. You can use your hands to help lift your legs up and reposition them if you need to. And we'll go ahead and just lie flat here for a moment. Breathing into the sensation. Noticing how your back feels after doing those twists. So moving into our Shavasana, we'll extend the legs out nice and long. Go ahead and completely relax your legs and hips. So when you relax the legs, they'll actually rotate open, coming on to the sides of the feet. And if that little arch in the spine kind of comes back here, that's okay. We're just letting the body relax now. And I invite you to pause the video if you'd like, spending a few minutes in a silent Shavasana. Or if you're ready to exit, we'll start to wiggle the fingers, roll out the ankles a little bit, bringing some movement back through the extremities. And then lift the arms up overhead, really nice full body stretch here. And we'll start to transition onto our side. So coming to lay your head down on your arm with a little pillow. I could fall asleep right now. Go ahead and press yourself up with your right hand, coming back to your little seated position for just a moment here. Hands come together at heart center, and then just go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest. Should feel good, this nice stretch through the back of the neck here. The highest and brightest in me honors the highest and brightest in you. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful, restful night of sleep and look forward to seeing you in my very next video. Bye.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the Pose library. Yoga Plus by Psychetruth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psychetruth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.